Good morning, I'm Chitrakar and these are the headlines of the hour. Applications pile up at the federal ministries for projects under the provincial and local government. Around 7,000 applications filed at the Ministry for Urban Development. Authorities race to accumulate medical equipment, indifferent towards lack of infrastructure and human resource to use those devices. WHO Director General expresses concern that Israel's military operation in Rafah will lead to a humanitarian catastrophe, urges all parties to move forward for a ceasefire and lasting peace. And Nepal to play the fourth match under the T20 series against West Indies A today. The match to kick off at 12:15 p.m. At a time when the government is preparing the budget for the upcoming fiscal year, thousands of applications have been filed at the federal ministries demanding budget for projects. The provincial and the local government are responsible for small and moderate projects since the country went into federal structure, while large and planned projects are under the federal government. The federal government has decided not to add new projects, citing the need to complete the ongoing projects on time. However, thousands of applications have been filed at the federal ministries demanding budget for new projects related to development. 6,790 applications have been filed at the Ministry for Urban Development alone. Budget for up to 15 projects have been demanded in a single application. The budget ceiling of the ministry is 41 billion rupees and the authority has equal responsibility. 512 applications have been filed at the Ministry for Drinking Water, while the Ministry for Youth and Sports has received 265 applications. Majority of the applications demand resources for construction of new bridges and improvement of roads in remote areas. Although this is the responsibility of the local government, public representatives, officials and various associations have filed the applications at the centre. The Ministry of Health and Population and its departments have not been able to make the best use of resources and equipment available at their disposal. Medical equipment are sent to health departments and locations even without basic infrastructures or human resources, simply on the basis of access. There are a total of 70 kidney patients in 10 local levels of Sankwa Sabha, while 24 patients of Khardana municipality of Bhojpur require dialysis services. These patients have been denied dialysis services in absence of required machines and equipment. The Sankwa Sabha hospital was provided 5 sets of hemodialysis machines 6 months ago. However, there has been no meaning of the presence of these equipment at the hospital for the patients. With no space to keep these machines, they have remained stranded at a storage facility. Another prime example of irregularities in the health sector is the condition of the Naradevi Ayurveda Hospital. CT scan machine procured at an investment of 40 million rupees was inaugurated amidst much fervor at the hospital 4 months ago. However, the equipment is yet to be used. The hospital officials who had celebrated the inauguration of the equipment now say that the equipment has remained unused in absence of qualified human resource. Government hospitals outside Kathmandu do not have required infrastructures and human resources. However, the trend of procuring equipment on the basis of political access, even without required infrastructures and human resources, has increased in recent time. Contractors and other entities with political access have been abusing forests across the country, including in the outskirts of Kathmandu Valley. However, this issue is neither discussed seriously in the Council of Ministers, nor is it spoken about at the Parliament and the parliamentary committees. The Natural Resources Committee under the House of Representatives shoulders responsibilities ranging from formulating policies related to agriculture, cooperatives and natural resources and directing the government to solve existing problems. Destruction of forests in the outskirts of the valley and across the country and the imbalance in the ecosystem have been caused by the government's distribution of forests, absence of time-relevant laws and lack of monitoring. Daily lives of the local residents of the Kathmandu Valley is increasingly becoming difficult as the forests in the outskirts of the valley are being encroached. However, neither the Council of Ministers nor the Parliament or the parliamentary committees have expressed their interest on this issue of grave magnitude. Member of the committee, Rai, has said that it is imperative to raise this issue in a serious manner. Policies related to forest have prohibited construction of concrete structures inside the forest. However, this policy has yet to be implemented. 2 individuals have died in a fire-related incident in Thakre of Thading. Police have said that around 70 years old Tej Bahadur Lama and his wife Thuli Lama died on the spot after the fire engulfed their house in Ghattikhola in Thakre Rural Municipality 5. The house along with other belongings have been completely destroyed. Thading police has said that investigation is underway to identify the cause of the fire. More than 24 houses have been completely destroyed, while the losses have been estimated at millions after wildfire in forests in Rampur Municipality 4 and 5 and Heklang of Purbakhola Rural Municipality of Palpa entered the settlements. Police have said that 8 houses have been completely destroyed in the fire in Heklang and Rampur 4 and 5. The forest fire began spreading towards the settlement area in Purbakhola 6 last night, which destroyed 16 houses. Ward Chair Thana Bahadur Gharti Magar has said that half a dozen of the settlements is now under the risk of wildfire. The wildfire that started yesterday has yet to be brought under control. Massive loss of properties have been reported due to fire in many parts of the country. Fire in a forest near Dadildhura headquarters went out of control. The fire that began around Maheshwari Hotel in Tufan Dara spread till Dadildhura campus yesterday. Efforts are underway to bring the fire under control. Elsewhere in Bake, 5 incidents of fire have been reported. 3 houses and cowsheds have been damaged by fire in Rati Sonari, Balapur. Fire was also reported at a private forest. Likewise, a house has been damaged in a community forest fire in Baijapur. In Kavre, a forest near IT Park caught fire. 2 houses and 1 cowshed was burnt to ashes in Gorkha. Elsewhere, 10 houses were fully damaged by fire in Thulung Dudkoshi Rural Municipality of Solukhumbu. Likewise, 10 houses were damaged within the span of 2 hours as fire fanned by winds reached Panchan in Solukhumbu. Similar incidents were reported from Argakhachi's Bhumika Sthan Municipality, Chhatradev Rural Municipalities Kerung, Malarani and Gulmi's Chhatrakot Rural Municipality. 1 more person has died while trying to extinguish fire at the community forest in Godavari Municipality, Ward number 4, Bodikil in Lalitpur. According to Lalitpur Police, Ramesh Pahari, who was undergoing treatment at the Nepal Cleft and Burn Center in Kantipur, breathed his last yesterday morning. Prior to this, Shankar Pahari of Godavari Ward number 2 had died while receiving treatment. Death toll due to the wildfire in Godavari has reached 2. Despite the wildfire of Ananda Forest being brought under control, fire in other forests have yet to be extinguished. It has been learned that the joint teams of local residents, Nepal Police, Armed Police Force and Nepal Army have been deployed to extinguish the wildfire. Local level in Saptari has not been able to ascertain the details of the damages caused by wildfire in Chimti of Mahadeva Rural Municipality. District Police has said 110 houses sustained damages. However, it has yet to take stock of the number of families that have been displaced. Our field correspondent Aryan Biswas reports that the victims of the fire have scarce food and sanitation facilities on top of the lack of shelter since the incident, while the local government are yet to address their plight. They're spending days and nights under open sky and are feeding on beaten rice.
हमरा घर से कुछो नहीं निकललो एकटा दाना नहीं एकटा कपड़ा नहीं निकलले 2 आना घर थी
दुईवटा के क्षति भयो घरमा के थियो
घरमा बालबच्चा चले सबका तो सामान सब चोरी के ले घरगाना
आगोबाट जुन पीडित जनताहरू छ सबभन्दा यिनीहरूलाई चाहिँ भोका पेटमा चाहिँ पहिला खानाको चाहिँ व्यवस्था गर्नुपर्छ तिरपालको आवश्यकता गर्नुपर्छ यस्तो घाममा चाहिँ कसरी चाहिँ मान्छे बाँच्छ त्यसको व्यवस्था गर्नुपर्छ
Time now for our segment Public Pulse, where you text us with your opinion.
Public Pulse.
Here's the question: what do you term the patients being denied treatment at government hospitals in the pretext of poor management of medical equipment? Your options are A. Government irresponsibility, B. Commission game, and C. Joke of the fundamental rights. Voting is on. Type any WS, select your option A, B or C and send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. In our Public Voice segment, we had asked people in several provinces what can be done to ensure social security for workers. Let's take a look at what they had to say.
रोजगारदाता र सरकारले श्रमिकको हितमा श्रम कानुन बनाउन चाहिँ अत्यन्तै जरुरी छ।
नेपाल सरकारको जुन श्रम ऐनको जुन नीति छ त्यो श्रम ऐनको नीतिलाई केही संशोधन गर्नुपर्ने विषयवस्तु छ।
इन्स्योरेन्सको पनि व्यवस्था हुनुपर्छ।
सम्मान ज्याला र ज्याला पाउने अवस्था चाहिँ देख्न सकिन्छ।
सामाजिक सुरक्षा सबै ठाउँमा चाहिँ लागू गर्नु पर्यो।
श्रमिकको हिसाबले उचित मजदुरी पनि दिनु पर्यो।
परिश्रमको उचित हुन्छ नि जुन मूल्याङ्कन गरिदिनु पर्यो।
नीति नियम बनाएर चाहिँ राम्रो किसिमले चाहिँ गर्दै भनेदेखि राम्रो हुन्थ्यो।
पेन्सन यस्तो कुराको व्यवस्था गरिदियो भने चाहिँ
फ्युचरको लागि इन्स्योरेन्सहरू गराइदिनु पर्यो।
कतिपय उद्योगहरूले सामाजिक सुरक्षामा चाहिँ आबद्ध हुन खोजिरहेका छन्। ती उद्योगहरूलाई चाहिँ नेपाल सरकारले विशेष गरी चाहिँ सामाजिक सुरक्षामा ल्याउनको लागि उहाँहरूलाई कारबाही दायरामा ल्याएर हुन्छ।
संसदले एउटा ऐन पारित गरिसकेको छ योगदानमा आधारित सामाजिक सुरक्षा ऐन भनेर, त्यसलाई प्रभावकारी ढङ्गले लागू गर्न सक्नु पर्यो।
Time now for international update. The Director General of the World Health Organization, Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus, has expressed concern that Israel's military operation in the Gaza city of Rafah will lead to a humanitarian catastrophe in the area. Despite constant pressure from the international community after Israel vowed to take military action in Rafah, the Director General of the Health Organization appealed to Israel not to take military action in that area. In addition, he has urged all parties to move forward for a ceasefire and a lasting peace, saying that a humanitarian disaster may occur in Gaza. In a meeting with UNRWA Chief Philip Lazzarini, the Director General said there is a strong possibility that the man-made famine, and if Israel blocks the flow of aid into Gaza, it will turn into an epidemic. Although Israel allows aid to enter through Gaza, in fact, aid to enter Gaza through the northern border, it is said that it continues to block the flow of aid. In Rafah, 60,000 children are affected by the war, and the situation of the children in that area will be dire if the necessary assistance is not provided immediately. 34,568 Palestinians have died since October 7 and more than 77,000 have been injured. A ceasefire has been initiated between Hamas and Israel, but it has not been finalized. Due to the opposition to the Gaza war and the demonstrations in favor of the Palestinians, studies and teaching have been badly affected in many universities in the United States. Students are constantly demonstrating with strong demands for a ceasefire. The Philippines accused China's Coast Guard of elevating tensions in the South China Sea after 2 vessels suffered damage from water cannon used by Beijing. Commodore J. Teriela, Philippine Coast Guard spokesperson on South China Sea matters, said their Chinese counterparts had directly used a water cannon against one of its vessels for the first time in what he called a blatant disregard to the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea, UNCLOS. Tariela said the incident had structurally damaged the Philippine Coast Guard ship and a fisheries vessel during a mission to the disputed Scarborough Shoal day before yesterday. He added that the Philippine Coast Guard would continue its missions to the shoal despite China's provocation and would refrain from escalating the situation further. No country has sovereignty over Scarborough Shoal, a prime fishing patch close to major shipping lanes that is used by several countries. The shoal falls inside the Philippines' exclusive economic zone and has been a constant source of flashpoint between it and China. Meanwhile, China has been continuously claiming that the entire sea of the South China is its own and that it has also warned not to cross the red line in that area. Before wrapping up, here's a look at the top stories once again. Applications pile up at the federal ministries for projects under the provincial and the local government. Around 7,000 applications filed at the Ministry for Urban Development. Authorities race to accumulate medical equipment, indifferent towards lack of infrastructure and human resource to use those devices. WHO Director General expresses concern that Israel's military operation in Rafah will lead to a humanitarian catastrophe, urges all parties to move forward for a ceasefire and lasting peace. And Nepal to play the fourth match under the T20 series against West Indies A today. The match to kick off at 12:15 p.m. That's all for the moment. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.